Alrighty, folks. Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to do this? I'm so pumped right now. Alright, let me pop over here where y'all can see me. Hello, welcome everyone back to Adobe Live. My name is VooDoo Val, and I am going to be your host today for another episode of Graphic Glow Up. And oh, I just realized that my little thing up there is not updated. Let me update that real quick. We're gonna do some magic right quick. But yeah, welcome in everybody. I'm so excited to jump in for another one of these episodes, and I'm very excited for the content that I have planned for the show. So I'm gonna put it in here and you guys are gonna get like, maybe this is a more dramatic reveal. We are going to do science fiction badges. And it's gonna be rad. All right, let me go ahead and save that. Okay, so we're gonna do science fiction badges this week, and I'm really pumped about it because I feel like this is a really great way to get into the habit of telling a good story with simple shapes. Right? And this is something that can be used for creating logos, for designing very quick infographics, things like that. And it's something that personally I struggle with a little bit. I haven't made many badges, and it's something that I've always really admired, a kind of design that I always love to look at when people post case studies of like badge sets and things. It's something that really interests me, and I would love to get better at it. And I think that this is a good lesson that we can all take some time to put some practice into. So I hope that you folks will join me, and I'm going to explain how you can do that in just a moment, but I hope you'll join me in kind of scrubbing up our skills in this area, learn along with me, and have a good time. Welcome in, Sam. It's good to see you. Robert, Jack, Jurgen, Katerina, it's good to see you. Umacorn, hello, my friend. Clever Devlin, Carol, Viola, it's good to see all of you folks. Bliss, Becca, who else we got in here? Gareth. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you. Hello, Nicholas. Welcome in. If you're over on the YouTube channel, please come over to Behance. That is where I am talking with everybody. I'm not reading the YouTube chat. It's a lot to do on the stream, keeping track of two chats. So head over to Behance. We will have a moderator post a link there for you, and you can come on over, talk with all the people who I just named, holler at me. And I'm gonna need you over here in the Behance chat because I'm gonna be taking a lot of suggestions from the community to do our project, which leads me to the next point of interest on the docket for today. What is Graphic Glow Up and how does it work? For those of you who may never have seen this show, basically the show is many things. First, it is an exploration of all of Adobe's free resource sites. So we are, every episode, every week that we have this show planned, we dive into Adobe Fonts, Adobe Color, Adobe Stock, sometimes we use Adobe Capture, and we choose some really awesome free resources as a starting point for a fictional project that we come up with on the fly. So today we're probably going to be focusing mostly on grabbing icons and things, and also choosing color palettes from Adobe Color. I'm going to make sure that everything that I choose is something that is free for you to also go grab if you'd like to work with the same assets as me, but you are all not forced to be constrained to using and doing only what I'm doing. You can feel free to kind of make these projects your own. And it's also a way for us to start to kind of practice in a more positive way. I don't know about you folks, but I am really hard on myself when it comes to deciding whether or not I'm doing a good job. You know, I feel a little self-conscious about my work and the progress that I make throughout my creative journey. And for very many years, I wasn't really very nice to myself about how good I am, if that makes sense. So I've got some things that you folks can download to use along with me to kind of keep our eye on the ball in a positive manner, to appreciate our success and our growth and our achievements as we move forward in our art journey in a much better way than feeling like you're not good enough all the time. So we actually have a download link in the description. If you scroll below the video player, it says download Val's graphic glow up assets. And in there you'll see this page, which I'm going to flip over to right here. Boom. So I have an achievements page for you, and I have a goals page for you. And I use these every single episode to keep track of the things that I do, the progress that I make. And we're gonna have a little achievement sort of segment at the end of tomorrow's stream, but I'll walk you through what this all means. So you can see I've got badges here, and again, you can download this for yourself. I've got badges here under a bunch of different categories: illustration, graphic design, animation, video editing, and presentation. These are all things that I feel like I want to improve going forward in my art journey. And I've got a tip down here that you can read and keep in mind as you start to award yourself points going forward throughout all of these episodes. And that tip is: you deserve to earn points when you try things for the first time and or when you create something that you are proud of. Get into the habit of appreciating the little things, moments in which you grow, not just complete. So I've got some points added into this achievements thing here, and I've been going through every week and placing points into these genres, onto these badges, where I feel that I have grown. And sometimes I don't finish my project, sometimes I don't have something that's ready for a case study at the end of every week, but I do find that I hit points while I'm creating and practicing certain concepts that make me feel like I know something that I didn't know before. I feel more confident doing something that I didn't feel confident doing before. And all of this success hinges on my honesty with myself and the actual progress and work that I've done, and not likes, retweets, and favorites on social media, or somebody else being able to look at a completed case study, okay? Another thing that we have is we have our goals. So I'm going to edit my goals page right here for this new project this week. And since we're doing these badges, I definitely want one of my personal goals. This is just something to keep track of what I want to get out of doing the work that I have set out for me this week. One of my goals that I want for personal is I want to become more comfortable designing with simple shapes. So I'm gonna put that in here. Become more comfortable designing with simple shapes. So this is my goal here. There's one. I want to become more comfortable designing with simple shapes. I also want to create something that is how do I put this? The badge vibe that I want to go for this week, I want it to be something that is prestigious but also fun. So I would say combining differing genres into one piece. So I'm going to put that down here. Different genres into one piece. So there is another personal goal. Professionally, I want to gain more experience so that I could take a job or a client that wants me to design badges. So I want to become more comfortable and work towards getting a badge design gig. So I'm going to put that in here. Working toward getting a badge design gig. That's my professional my professional goal. And then here in future, I think that my future goal is I would love to someday have a case study on my Behance profile that is just a collection of really cool badges I've made, because as I said before, one of the things I really admire about badge design is I love finding case studies about them on Behance and just scrolling through like a huge collection of badges that have like a really cool aesthetic. And it's something that I wish I had in my own portfolio. So I'm putting this in the future, even though I have stated that we want to make sure that we're, you know, kind of basing our progress and our achievements and our success not on what is in your portfolio, but I think you can still have a goal that one day I am going to get to this point. Somebody is calling me. Now you guys know that my ringtone is the Mandalorian theme song. I'm sure everybody's very surprised. But yeah, I would like to keep my eye on the ball for that for the future, and it doesn't have to happen today, but eventually that's where I'd like to get. I'm going to say working towards a case study of personal badge designs. Okay, so now I have my goals, and these are my goals for the week. This is what I'm going to be looking at throughout our work for today and tomorrow. I'm going to kind of, revert back, reference back to this to make sure that I'm staying on target. And now we're going to dive into the meat of everything. I so need this. You should download it. You can download it. You can download your own goals and achievements thing. It's actually in the link in the description below. And you can use this not just for times maybe where you participate in the show, but you can also use it for your own personal work. You can take this and have a visual representation of the positive progress that you make in your own creative journey. And again, it doesn't hinge on how many likes on social media you have or how many completed projects you have, just so that you can see, wow, I really am making some progress. This is a super, super important thing for me personally because I've struggled with this, so I'm hoping that I can reach out and help you folks with it as well. You can post any work that you do for the show in the game show channel on Discord. Feel free. That's what we're using for the last game show that I did, but I think it still works for this, so feel free. Okay, so I've got my goals, I've got my achievements page up, and now I'm going to pop over here. This is my blank canvas for today. And we are going to dive into some resource sites real quick, and we're going to snag some colors. Okay, so I'm going to go to color.adobe.com. And we're going to jump in here and see what we can find, because I want to start with a color palette today. I don't want to kind of hunt around for my own colors within Photoshop. I want to have a starting place. So we're going to be creating science fiction badges, and the main goal for this is not just like a science-y or spacey badge. We are going to be creating a badge that commemorates a fictional space expedition or commemorates a fictional space station. So I'm hoping you folks will help me come up with what that's going to be. Where are we going, folks? Where are we going? Are we going to Jupiter? Are we going to Mars? Are we going to a fictional planet? We can invent a fictional planet today. Or are we going to a space station? And if we're going to a space station, what is it going to be called? I'm going to come over here to explore, and I'm just going to type in space and see what we get. Let's see. This is a nice one right here. That's pretty cool. I like the blues, and I like the kind of like charcoaly blue with an actual black and then that splash of orange. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my library. And it's added successfully to Graphic Glow Up, so I've got it in my library now. Another one, this one's pretty cool too. I feel like I like these blue colors that could work really well as like background colors, and then these red colors for kind of a splash. So we'll go ahead and add that to my library. And I kind of like this one as well, as odd as that one is, because we've got like a burnt orange and a rust color. We have like a dark purple, a really happy sky blue, and then like a almost black color. And that could be That could be nice as well. And then maybe let's try to snag one more. Oh, look! This one, this one is definitely a piece of work from Michael Fugoso, who is kind of a huge inspiration for today's topic, so that's really cool. Also, if you missed Michael Fugoso on Adobe Live a week ago, I believe, definitely check it out. It was one of the coolest streams that I've seen around here, and I don't think that you will regret it. I think you'll enjoy it. I think the last one I'm going to go with is this one here, and I know this is kind of similar to some that we have already, but, well, maybe it is too similar. Why don't let's go outside of the box totally. Let's grab this cute little guy. This is not really space, but maybe if we decide to go to Mars, that could be a cool Mars expedition badge. So I'll just add this one. Let's have a wild card, okay? So we've got our colors, and we will probably eventually return to resource sites for some icons and some fonts and things like that. But I think we're good with just colors right now. So I'm going to go ahead and bump this over here, and I'm going to jump into my libraries, which I should have graphic glow up pop here. I have so many libraries, it does take a little bit to load, but here's all of my color palettes that I just grabbed. So I am going to select all of these and put them in a group, and I'm going to call this group week 3. Boom. And I'll go ahead and collapse all of these. So I've got my week 3 here, and I'm going to go ahead and start sketching. This is something that I always do. I have a sketch phase, even when I'm going to be doing graphic design, to kind of give myself a base of sorts, so that I'm not just drawing randomly or designing, adding elements randomly, so that I actually have something to work off of. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. The VooDoo planet. Honestly, that sounds cool. I'm gonna put that in the notes. I am gonna put that in the notes, and that's super biased, but I feel like it's okay because somebody else suggested it. Okay, there's a VooDoo planet. I'm also gonna put Mars on here because I think Mars would be cool. I feel like you can't go wrong with an expedition to Mars, because it's just classic, you know? Tatooine. Oh no. Oh no. Tatooine, we got the Star Wars coming in here. Maybe we do like make these expeditions to Star Wars planets. Oh no. AIM MCG, thank you, Val. Definitely need to hold myself more accountable, and yes, be more positive. I think we all could use a little more positivity when it comes to judging ourselves and in our creative journey, right? I think we all could use a little bit of kindness and positivity with regards to ourselves. Okay, so there's some ideas. Saturn is nice this time of year. I'll put Saturn on there. And Mustafar, honestly, yes. Mustafar is a must. Okay, Mustafar is a must. I didn't even mean to say that. All right, so when I'm thinking of badges, this is kind of what I mean right here. So I'm going to just do something like, maybe it's got a flat top, and maybe it comes down like so, with some kind of point, okay? Maybe it's pointed like that in a way. Maybe there is a banner of sorts that goes like this, okay? We could have some sort of design in the corner here, and maybe there's like an archway, you know, right here. We have possibly a title across here, and then some elements in the center, and maybe it's not a rectangle or an arch, maybe it's like an oval, and there's some cool elements kind of popping off of the canvas. I'm just sketching, and this is messy, but I have some place to start from. I'm just, you know, thinking of badges. it could be cool to do like a hexagon shape. I'm just holding shift and tapping around to create straight lines from the previous point I tapped at. And maybe this is, honestly, I kind of like, instead of it being a straight hexagon, what if it is a hexagon, but like the bottom is pulled out like that? That could be an interesting shape. And then maybe we have like an expedition name on here, or maybe the spaceship that's going to, we need a spaceship name. Like, gosh, what's a cool spaceship name? Give me spaceship names, folks. Dagobah is a good one. It's a trap! Everyone looking forward to this. Planet X could be a good place. I feel like I've heard that before. Is Planet X actually a term used for a discovered planet? Planet X. Let's see. Yeah. Researchers have found mathematical evidence that suggests there may be a Planet X deep in the solar system. Okay. We could do Planet X. Maybe that would be cool. I'll put Planet X on here. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll do more than one. Maybe we'll do more than one badge for different places. So we need a planet name. We'll choose, we'll settle on a planet name. We gotta settle on a spaceship name. And an expedition name. I think I spelled expedition right. So here's, you know, things we need to think about. We might not incorporate all of these into our badge, but that's a good starting point to have. What is the expedition? Krypton would be cool. Krypton would be awesome. Okay, so we've got this kind of interesting shape. It'd be cool to put like a number on it. Like, maybe the number, we could work with the number 7. And I don't know if that would just be a straight number 7, or maybe it would be like 07, you know, kind of overlapping on the side of the badge here. And then maybe there's like a planet shape right here, with like a smaller planet here. I don't know. Just to kind of make like a cool layout within this shape. Okay, so there'll be a planet, and I'm actually going to erase this part of the 0 because maybe the, you know, maybe the planet is over the top of that. Maybe this has, I feel like it should probably have another border, just to kind of thicken here. I think that looks kind of cool. And then maybe we need like a place for a title. So maybe there is, we don't actually have to put the title across. Like, I keep feeling like we need to have like a nameplate of some kind across, but maybe we don't. Maybe we have, maybe our badge has these other like elements here that come underneath it. I don't know. This is just, I'm just trying to spice things up and make things a little bit different. Maybe there's like these little winged shapes down here, and maybe this has text on it. Like maybe this has a word here and a word here. And then maybe there's just designs on this one. I don't know. Could be interesting. The USS Destiny. USS Hesitant. I kind of like USS Destiny. Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is, I feel like Dreadnought is the name of a spaceship in a lot of things, but there is a Dreadnought in Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon. I can't be that obvious. You guys have already blessed me with wanting to do Star Wars planets, I feel like I shouldn't also do a Star Wars ship. I like Dreadnought though. I think it sounds really cool. So I'm gonna put Dreadnought. I liked the USS Destiny, was cool. The Ghost, the Razor Crest. I like the Ghost. Executioner, Finalizer, I know all of those spaceship names. Come on, guys. Can the title be in the back, like behind the planet, or similar to how the 07 sketch is like? That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Let's see. I'm going to make this much smaller. Let's put that right there. And I'll duplicate it and put this over here. I don't know if we'll do all of this stuff underneath here for this one. Let's get rid of that just so we're just looking at this shape. And let's remove what we've got on the inside for now, and see if we can sketch out something more like what you're talking about. Because I think that you're onto something good there. Let's see. Let me put our line here. Okay, so what if we had text that kind of went with the shape of the top there? So we could say, US, and like all of this kind of comes down to the same straightaway. USS Destiny. We could do it like this. That could be interesting. I would obviously make it a little nicer, but that's just, you know, sketch. So maybe USS Destiny is like up here in some way that has like a straight bottom, but it kind of molds to the top of the badge. And then we could have the 7 just, you know, maybe the 7 is not a 07, maybe it's just like a 7. Okay, we have like a big stylized 7, and then maybe we have the planet elements and stuff kind of around it. So maybe the planet goes behind the 7 in this one. Maybe not that side, because I feel like that kind of gives us a tangent with the shape of the 7 there. So maybe we put a planet here, and then, in fact, I'm actually going to do this on a different layer because I want to be able to like really move that around without having to sketch everything. So I'm going to do myself a circle here, boom, and then we could have that right here. Maybe I'm trying not to have too big a tangent with some of these things. Also, show of hands in the chat if we have some hand emojis. How many people know what I mean when I say tangent? Does anybody know what tangent means? And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. I would love to explain it, however, if there are some people who are unfamiliar with that term. This can be an opportunity to learn. Maybe there's another one here. Nostromo? Is that something? Is that like already something, or is that something you made up? Because that's actually sounds really cool. But yeah, Patrick, I really like your idea of having the title in the back. I guess that technically this is the title at the top. But yeah, so what is tangent? Tangent, I feel like maybe there's people out there that could explain it a little bit better than me. But this is what I mean when I talk about a tangent. So for example, we have I'm just gonna redraw our 7 real quick. I'm gonna make it a little bit nicer. Here's our number 7. Okay, so I was creating that planet design, that planet element, and I was putting it, you know, kind of around our 7. And let me go ahead and duplicate. I think this is one of our, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. And I was figuring out where to place it. So what I didn't want to do is place it like this, okay? And the reason why I don't want to do that is because this creates a tangent, what is called a tangent, right here. So the end of this element touches the very end of the tip of the 7 here, which looks a little odd. And there's other ways that you can do that. Like in a scene, for example, if I was painting a picture, this would be like tangents in illustration. If I was painting a picture and I have rolling hills, you know, I've got a sun, there's birds in the sky, and then maybe I want to put a tree, you know, so maybe I have like a tree here that's close to the camera, and we have like the tree top there, and then maybe I wanted to put another tree right here. A tangent would be if the top of that tree touches this sun, because then it's weird. It almost makes it look like that sun is sitting on top. It's very strange that I would have 2 elements like that when I could make it more dynamic if I just bumped this tree over like that, and then it just looks like a tree that's farther in the background. So when you create tangents, these elements that are not really arranged dynamically, things start to look a little off with the eye. And like I said, I'm sure that there's more like efficient ways of explaining it, but that's what it means to me, you know, creating a tangent like that. And anyone who is familiar with the term tangent, please put your thoughts into the chat too if you think I've missed something with that explanation. Yeah, so what we would want to do instead is bring this circle out like that, because it's not touching the tip here, it's not touching the tip here, and it is overlapping, but it's a lot more dynamic this way. So I can, I'm actually gonna make it even larger. Another way to disrupt a tangent is if you just make it bigger. So I feel like it's not a tangent anymore if it overlaps a little bit more. With that, I could even make it bigger so that it overlaps a lot. But I think that in this situation, what would be better is if it didn't touch the tip of that 7 and only had that overlap on the tail of the 7 right there. And that's a little bit better. So that's just a quick little explanation of what I mean. Oh, also, I should probably save. Let me go ahead and save. Let me throw this into the graphic glow up week 3 folder that I have. Boom, and I'm gonna call this badges. Boom. That was a great explanation and demonstration. Okay, cool, Anthony. I'm glad that you understood that. That makes me happy. All right, a line or a plane that touches a curve or a surface at a point so that it is closer to the curve in the vicinity of the point than any other line or plane drawn through the point. That is also very correct, but also I had to like really think about that one when I read it, but not wrong, maybe. Expedition Genesis. This is a rock and roll expedition. Genesis actually could be cool. I could put that down on the list. I don't know if I spelled Genesis wrong. Yeah, I did actually spell it right. Okay, let me check chat, make sure. I am familiar with Tangent Town. Yep. Line or plane that touches a curve at some point but does not cross it. Yeah, you know, like it's just you should overlap it. You should cross that instead of leaving it right there at the very edge of it, because it starts to look odd. More attention for here equals note, make tangents bigger. Guys, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be bigger. Just arrange it differently, you know, explore and experiment with your elements. Why 7, may I ask, or did I miss that explanation? I just chose a number. If you folks want to choose a number, because I feel like there should be a number on this, like this is the 3rd expedition, or this is like the USS I don't know, something 7, and that's like the, I don't know, or maybe 7 is the number of people going on the expedition. You know, maybe the expedition is called like Galaxy 7 sounds like a knockoff superhero group, but you know what I mean? Like maybe the number is not indicative of the planet or the spaceship or anything. Maybe that's how many people are on the expedition. Like it's a legendary expedition, and these are the people that will go down in history. This legendary team of 7 people, Vern Expedition 5. The first badge reminded me of 007. That, oh my gosh, you are so right. That does have a 007 vibe just because the planet is there. Technically, this planet is going to be filled in, and I would put like texture on it so that it's not, you know, maybe we need like a Saturn ring or something around it so that it doesn't. Actually, I kind of like that. Huh. Okay, wait a second. One second. I'm gonna merge most of this because I feel like it can all be on the same level if I want. Okay. Let's experiment with breaking the borders of our badge. I'm gonna grab this. Oops. I want to duplicate that. I'm gonna grab this. I feel like adding we can take this out. Adding that ring around it, like a ring like on Saturn, kind of removed for me the element of 007. And let me know if you still see it. Crew 7. So what if we had, you know, like the ring of this planet breaking the border this way? And then what if instead of another planet here, what if that was a shooting star that breaks the border this way, and then we could have some more here, okay? One there, and then maybe a little one here, kind of offset. Let's see. Something like that. So it's like got this, you know, this cruisy kind of vibe to it, okay? And we could have the 7 there, and there would be space back here, okay? There would be like some spacey stuff, and then maybe the words for the title of our expedition. Something fell over here on my desk. Maybe the words for the expedition is similar to like this kind of element that we have, but like right here. So maybe we do something like this. Where the title is here. So, you know, we could have the expedition title down here. That could be kind of interesting. And this is all a little bit lopsided because I'm not really like using a lot of guides and stuff right now. This is just our sketch phase. This is our experimentation phase, okay? But that could be cool. That got rid of it for you. Okay, cool, Glenn. So it doesn't look like 007 anymore. Just like with kind of like adding values to it and all that could be cool. We could also kind of do, because I feel like if all of this space behind the 7 is all empty space, with just pinpoint stars, that's cool. But I feel like we could spice it up. Like maybe we add like some layers of like space dust, you know, like galaxy waves, you know, and then maybe each one of these waves is a different color, so we could do like an ombre in the back and still have the stars, okay, still have the stars, but you know, they're just kind of slightly different, either ascending or descending into a darker or lighter color. That could spice up that background, okay, and we would have our O or our 0. I don't know if we should put like the slash in it. I feel like that could be interesting. And I kind of like this 7 more than I like this 7, so I might kind of change this just a little bit. We're getting somewhere, guys. Look at us. Look at us designing. I'm so proud of us. Yeah, Rob. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll through and make sure I'm not missing anything. The mission number, Charles. Yeah, the mission number could be 7. That could be cool. So somebody put Saturn, I think, right? Somebody suggested Saturn. So maybe this first badge is like one specifically for Saturn. I might experiment with this design on a different shape now. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to, all of this stuff is kind of on the same layer except that. So I'm going to erase that and that. And I am going to select this bottom here, and I'm gonna grab all of our little notes because I wanna still look at our notes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate that and hide all of this. And we're gonna work with this sketch here that I have. So we've got this interesting badge. Now let's, because I kind of like how this is going, let's experiment with different shapes to it, okay? And what I might do also is go to Adobe Stock and kind of look at what other people have created badge-wise and kind of use that as inspiration. So stock.adobe.com, and I am going to go into vectors, and I'm going to type in badge. Let's see what we got. Let's just see what comes up. Just to kind of get the creative juices going. These are cool. These are more like maybe camp badges or, you know, stuff like that, but still interesting. I really like how these are all like kind of the same color palette, and that's sort of what I want to go through for this. I'm going to add a lot more depth in between the different layers, but I do like that vibe, how it's like they stuck to a very particular color palette. I think that's really cool. I wonder what would happen if we put space badge. Do we get actual? Yes! Yes! This is it. Okay, so these are some cool shapes. That would be cool for like inspiration. These ones are cool. These ones have kind of like the layers of different colors kind of going with the dotted stars, which is kind of what I was thinking already. I do really like these. Those are very interesting shapes. So are these. Those are some interesting shapes right there. Those ones are cool. And again, kind of a limited palette. Yeah, okay. These ones are cool too. These ones also have just like this nice big space for like a scene illustration. And I like that it just says like Saturn on it. So I'm gonna keep this on my other monitor. That's gonna be my my inspiration. We're kind of like looking at Adobe Stock, almost like you might look at Pinterest, because I really like a lot of these, and I kind of want to keep my eyes on this while I move forward. So I'm gonna keep that over here, and you can find all of this stuff if you just go to images on Adobe Stock and type in space badge, if you would like to look at the same images that I'm looking at. Okay. How are we doing on time, by the way? What is our time like? Oh, we have like 10 minutes. Look at me. Okay, so I'm going to try one more shape in this 10 minutes. And then what we're gonna do for tomorrow is tomorrow we are going to take our sketch, and I'm going to show you how we're going to create like some solid shapes and things and build it, make it look super high quality. And then I'm going to show you some different techniques on how you can actually add a little bit of spice to that. Because I mean, the ones that we looked at, if you want to keep yours like flat color, you can do that if you want. But I'd like to do a flat color one. I'd like to do one that just has like noise textures in it. And then I'd actually like to get in and like manually paint some textures into one of our variations of the badge. just to have 3 different versions, because that would be cool and we can decide which one we like. So I am going to, let's use our shape tool right now, and let's grab our rectangle tool. Let's do that, and I'm going to throw this rectangle in here. I'm going to round the corners. I'm going to create myself a nice shape real quick. So I'm going to round the corners, and then I'm also going to grab my triangle tool, and I'm going to hold shift to make myself like a perfect triangle here. And I'm going to go ahead and round that corner too, and I'm going to make it much larger. Let's rotate this, and I'm holding shift just to kind of snap it. Oops. And let's bring that to the edge, and let's bring that to this edge. Let's do it here too. Boom. And then I'm going to hold shift, and can I just bring that up? I guess I can't do that exactly like I wanted to. Let's drag this out here. I just want to bring this to the edges, and then I'm gonna bump it down so that we have like this sort of shape. Kind of zoom in here. I feel like I need to make it just slightly smaller. Boom. That's good enough for me. Okay, and I'm going to select those, and I'm going to turn that into a smart object, I think. Smart object? Yeah. So now we have, you know, this little shape. And maybe I should have changed it to a lighter color. I can just go Control U to open, or Command U if you're working on a Mac, to open hue and saturation, and I can just change it. Now this is, I want to be very clear that this is, you know, not 100% necessarily like the greatest way to like build shapes and do things, but I just wanted to get a shape in there real quick that we can sketch on. So we've got this color. I am going to double click the layer and throw a stroke on it because I just want to select and just have a border here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit boom, there we go. Go ahead and hit OK. And then with a clipping mask, I am going to kind of draw a similar thing that we had going on here in this one with what we've got here. So already has classy rings, but then Saturn has the great top. Yeah, it's got like kind of a cool top to it. Destiny 7 is cool. Yes, Val, that's how I color space in my work. Very cool. Okay, cool. What are we doing on time? We got like 7 minutes left. Okay, so I am going to go like this. Maybe I'll turn the smoothing on for this. And again, this is another sketch, but we're just kind of trying to make something that's a little more substantial than our first initial sketch. So I'm gonna do this sort of thing. I don't think we need that third one. And so imagine those being, you know, separated by different color. Maybe it'll get darker as it gets to the top. And then I'm going to make sure I put in our planet. So I am, oops, cancel. Actually, I'm not gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna grab an ellipse, and we're going to hold shift to make that a perfect circle. And I'm gonna throw that in like that, and we're also gonna clip it. So let's make this a slightly, oops, let's make this a slightly lighter purple. Boom. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clip that as well. So we've got that in there. On top of this, I will have that layer, and I will kind of come in and with our dark here, and I'm just gonna sketch in like the ring of Saturn, just to suggest like that's where it is. We'll have that ring kind of coming in here, and I've got smoothing on, so it's, you know, not coming out a lot, but maybe we can tilt this. Boom. So we'll have that ring of Saturn kind of popping out there, like so. That'll be one of our ideas, and I might make that ring here. Let me just go ahead and duplicate that and make it a little thicker. And I will, oops, go ahead and erase and erase. So there's going to be the ring of Saturn around there. That'll be cool. And then we're going to have our 07, okay? And that 07 can be, I'm thinking, I wonder if it needs to be all the way up to the top. Maybe that O is perfectly centered, you know, and have that slash going through it. And then we'll have our 7. And I feel like if the 7 is cut off on the edge, where the edge of the 7 has almost kind of a tangent, so because we're kind of breaking rules, if that 7 has that kind of tangent-esque vibe going on with the edge, I don't think it removes the readability though, because the 7 does have an edge right there. So I feel like if we have the 7 on the side, it's not so bad. Maybe we need to make it bigger, I don't know. But I feel like we could also come in and possibly cap this top, and there could be, let me turn my smoothing down because that's starting to annoy me. We could also have a title here. That's an idea. There could be something written there. And then we want, so we have our Saturn ring coming out, breaking this border in kind of a dynamic way, but then we need more doing that. So we also want to have our shooting star. So we'll have a shooting star here, you know, kind of going there. And I'm going to select this and just duplicate it. So let's go ahead and duplicate that. We'll have one there. It kind of crosses that 7, which is interesting. And then maybe we'll have a smaller one, and that one will be right there. Or maybe just in here where you can see it, something like that. And then maybe this one kind of needs to be moved so it's not perfectly aligned with that one that's down there. I don't know if we would have it overlapping the Saturn or whatever, and I would kind of alter the Saturn to make sure it's the same trajectory. But this might be cool and like a little more open. I don't know what you guys think. I would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe this one, actually, we could have it like this, but maybe it's a different color. Maybe this one's brighter and it overlaps with the 7. So we can actually have it right there. And this one would go behind the 7. And this one is over the top of it, and we can give it like a nice little outline. Let me look at our time. All right, I gotta go actually right now. I can't do any more, and I don't want to get cut off. So that is, I think, a pretty darn good starting point for what we've got going today. I can't wait to jump into it tomorrow. I hope you folks will join me again for episode 2 so that we can kind of clean that up and make it look super neat. Thank you everyone for being here today. Please stay tuned for the streams that are coming up next, because the day is not over, and I will see you folks tomorrow. Adios, everybody.